Alright, what's up, people? Live stream fiends. What's going on? Start this recording. Hang on, we're telling your followers to join. That is kind of your job, Instagram. That is kind of your job. Alright, looks like we're up on YouTube. Up on Instagram. Is this recording? Alright, let's do it. Might as well, huh? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. All ones here, baby. Episode 111. 111. Uno. However you want to call it. Can't believe we are 111 episodes into this thing. My goodness. Alright, so if you're watching on Instagram, once again, like always, we have a couple decorations, new decorations in the back here. Let me pull up the YouTube stream here so I can see what you're seeing. Yeah, we might as well lead off the podcast with me being a dork. Hang on, I have a weird feeling that the podcast isn't recording. Okay, yes it is. Gotta triple check these things sometimes. And sidetrack, actually, I actually went live here for a couple minutes and on accident on YouTube. I had a 30-second video of me just like clicking and like with a weird face, like wondering why something doesn't look right. So that has been deleted from the ether, hopefully permanently. But if you were quick enough on the draw there, you saw me just kind of looking stupid. Not that that's not always the case. But yeah, so anyway, a couple new decorations for the YouTube people if you're looking. First thing first, this actually is pretty cool. I was actually waiting for this shirt to come in because, I had a feeling, the shirt's going to come in after my team's already knocked out of the playoffs. And that's exactly what happened. So as I'm sitting here getting ready for the podcast, typing up what I'm going to talk about, I hear the doorbell go outside and look what it is. If you're looking on YouTube, it's my Built for October St. Louis Cardinals t-shirt that did not come in handy at all. One and done. And if you know me, 0-2. 2 days in a row. Yankees, Cardinals, both out. And so now I have this stupid October baseball t-shirt that I'm never going to use. And I should get up and grab it, but I don't feel like. If you're watching on Instagram, go watch on YouTube and you'll see the t-shirt I'm talking about. I guess I could always pick up the camera, huh? That'd be like kind of easy. So there it is back there. I guess I could do this every week. I don't know why I always act like this camera is so steady. Got the Baylor Champs in the back, obviously. And then that's the Cardinals t-shirt I'm talking about that is just absolutely not great right now. But I feel like that looks different now than it did 2 seconds ago. See, maybe that's why I don't pick it up. But yeah, anyway. So, I mean, it does say the year on it. It's tiny, though. So I'm just going to, that's like the new October shirt. Because it doesn't say built for this October. It just says built for October. 19-game winning streaks. The Cardinals always do it. They always start playing better in September. You make it to October. So you get to use it next year. See, me and Matt, baby, we're on the same brainwave, baby. So I'm still, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm still going to wear it. But man, even if they would have made it to the next round here, I mean, took a while to get here. That was, we'd be like in game 5 right now, or like they would already won or already lost. So a little speedier shipping on that one next time. MLB.com or Fanatics or whatever it was. Don't get me started on Fanatics again. That's not fun. Speaking of, I still haven't got my money back for all that Baylor National Championship stuff that never got delivered. So much to do. So much to do. So little time here. So, little controversy here. 2 topics that I don't know if I should lead with or end with. Right now, I have it ending with them. Maybe we'll do that. I feel like I usually get tired by the end, though, and I'm not thinking clearly. And I feel like those things I should be popping on all cylinders when I'm talking about them. But we'll end with it. Screw it. I'm gonna just run through some stuff quick this week because these last two episodes I have done every other week, which is not ideal. I don't want to. I'm in this situation now where I think it's hard enough to pack everything from a week into 40 minutes. Now packing 2 weeks into 40 minutes, nearly impossible. Because I mean, how many games do you want to talk about from 2 weeks ago? Kind of ruins things. But that's my own punishment for my own missing a week. So yeah. So first up, I have the NFL. I'll just run through what we're going to talk about too here. NFL, we got college football, we got obviously the MLB postseason. Kind of hinted on a couple of the outcomes there. NHL finally started. Talk about opening night there, and then if we want to get into it, Gruden and Kyrie are the two controversial stories taking the headlines everywhere you look this last week. So maybe that's what I should start with, but I like to avoid those topics usually, so we're going to end with them. It was my thought process. Because I like to talk about sports on sports shows, not stupid things. Not to call things stupid, but God forbid you hurt anybody's feelings. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, we'll start with the NFL. One thing I wanted to mention here is, I think I've said this before, Russell Wilson. I mean, obviously, nothing again. I actually, would love Russell Wilson if he played for any other team besides the Seahawks. He just happens to be on the team that is the rival of my favorite team. So, I don't actually despise him. There were years there where, I kind of despised Tom Brady. I'm kind of almost over that, too, now. But, Russell Wilson, I mean, he's just always been impressive to me. He's always been, it's a weird comparison. I want to say he's almost like Derek Jeter-like, where he seems like he's just a nice guy, or at least good in front of the cameras, and I don't know, I haven't heard of any controversies with Russell Wilson, plays or injuries usually. So that's the point I wanted to make here, is that he I don't want to say he finally got hurt, but he got hurt, and he's one of the people known for never getting hurt, being very durable. It was really gross, actually, the day he got hurt. It was, and they usually don't show replays of injuries. I don't know why they showed this over and over again, but they kept showing his finger, kind of dangling, and it was disgusting. We thought it was dislocated, but turns out he, tore one of the ligaments right off it. I don't know if that's actually what happened. I'm not a doctor, but he needs surgery, and it's worse than we thought. Because almost the same thing happened to Matthew Stafford in the same game. But he just popped his back in, and I think they said it was a dislocated finger. So stuff like that does happen to quarterbacks all the time, but this one was just gross. And the point I guess I wanted to make is, you never want somebody to get hurt, but it's just crazy that Russell Wilson now is hurt, and Geno Smith is at the helm of the Seahawks. So that division is almost a little flipped. I don't know if most people would have thought the Cardinals would be not maybe the best, but yeah, the best record for sure. And the Seahawks would be at the bottom of the division. I don't know if people would have saw that coming 5 weeks ago. So that's pretty interesting stuff right there. And then this is going back 2 weeks too. Like I said, I don't like doing that, but I never thought I would root for the Patriots ever. But I did find myself rooting for the Patriots against the Bucs, against Tom Brady. Interesting I'm curious to where people fell in that, because most people I think are on Team Brady over Team Bill, and I think I'm Team Bill, man. I not that I like either of them. I don't want to be on either team, but I think I find myself on Team Bill more than I do Team Brady. So, I do think the Patriots outplayed them that night. Bucs won on a last-second field goal. So, good. It was a close game, but it wasn't really a good game. But it was the most watched game in, 6 years, 12 years? I forget what they said. Most watched regular season game in a long time. I think we all knew that, thought that, predicted that. So that's not really surprising there either. But it obviously looked emotional for Tom. He kind of hinted he wouldn't be upset going back there to play. That wouldn't shock me. I mean, just keep winning with the Bucks as long as they're talented, and then do a little farewell tour at in New England. That wouldn't shock me at all. Eagles beating the Bucks tonight. Like, all right, we got a hot take in the comments, everybody. We got an Eagles upset over the Bucks. I wouldn't be upset about it. That would not bother me at all. I'll go for it. So I mean that's the backtrack on the NFL without going over every single game, because I know that gets boring. So timestamp on the podcast. It's Thursday. It's almost 1 o'clock Mountain Time here, October 14th here. So we got Thursday Night Football matchup. We had the good one last week, so maybe this one will be a good one too. Bucks Eagles. Bucks are 4-1. Eagles 2-3. Tampa Bay 7-point favorites. So Cat, I'll even give you the Eagles +7. Would we take it? Oh, I don't know. That's tough. Give me +14, and I'm riding Eagles all night. I don't know though. Boy, oh boy. That's tricky. That's even 14. I don't know if I trust it. I do though. We'll see. I don't know. Thursday Night Football. I'm really still not a fan of the whole Thursday Night Football thing. So I really sometimes pessimistically hope Thursday Night Football games are bad, because I want them to get rid of it, but they never will. So that's a losing battle. So yeah, we'll move on, I guess. This might be the lock of the week here. I guess it comes up first because they're my favorite team on this website. I don't know. We got Rams Giants at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So it's one of the 1 p.m. games Eastern. One of the early games. Rams Giants. I think this spread was only 7.5 a couple days ago, and now it's 9.5. So that's a little better. I would bet the Rams win by 2 touchdowns. I mean, 14 would be, then I would start to think about it. 7 or 9, I'm hammering that. There's no way, especially with all the injuries, that, like, I would have said 10 while the Giants were healthy. And now the Giants, I mean, like, every other person on their roster got hurt last week. So, including their best running back and quarterback. I actually haven't seen if Daniel Jones is better now, but assuming not. So, if the Giants don't, I can't see that game being close. Maybe the Rams, it's like one of those trap games. The Rams let up because they know that they should outplay them. So maybe they won't cover and I'll look stupid. But Rams 7 or 9 or 10, you're getting that. I'd take that. I'd take that very, very quickly and easily, swiftly. Raiders Broncos. Obviously, this one goes along with all the drama. Broncos are 3-point favorites. How do the Raiders respond? Do they come out on fire because they don't have a head coach, or do they come out looking like a chicken with its head cut off, not knowing what to do because they don't have a head coach now? Could go either way. You guess your way. I'm not sure. I can almost see everyone thinking the Raiders are going to come out looking lost. But you know what? Maybe Derek Carr puts them on his back and says, "Guys, let's go do this." That sounds so stupid. But it's possible. I don't know. Broncos at the hot start, 3-0 against, 3 teams that hadn't won a game. So I think we all kind of saw this coming, that they weren't as good as the 3-0 start, but I don't know if they're bad either. So Dolphins, Jags, boy, oh boy. Packers, Bears, Packers, Bengals, Lions, Bengals, Texans, Colts. Gosh, these are terrible games. 1-4. Chiefs, Washington. I mean, you gotta think the Chiefs come back eventually. 7-point favorites still. Vikings, Panthers. Also doesn't really move the needle too much. Maybe Vikings, both teams get to 3-3. 1 point. Yeah, that's going to be a close one. Chargers, Ravens, that'll be good. I'm rocking Chargers, man. They're looking good. Cardinals, Browns. This one is the one that was pretty confusing to me. Cardinals are 5-0. I haven't seen any signs of anybody slowing them down yet. The Browns did, set a record for, 500 yards and whatever crazy stats to lose a game, first team ever last week. That was against the Chargers. So the Cleveland's at home, favored by 3 points against an undefeated team, the only undefeated team left in the NFL. So that line surprised me. I don't know if the Cardinals are going to win. Maybe they won't win. Maybe they'll finally lose. But you're getting the last undefeated team at +3, and you could even move that in a teaser. I don't hate that, but maybe the Browns are better than their 3-2 record shows. So we'll see. Maybe Vegas knows something we don't. We do, because I just talked you through it. Cowboys Patriots. That's a dog doo-doo game. Cowboys will probably win by a couple. I don't know though. Maybe Patriots will at home. Bill drop some stuff. Seahawks Steelers. Dude, this week's weird. I'm not feeling any of these matchups this week. Seahawks Steelers. I keep thinking the Steelers are going to come back. Steelers are favorites without Russell Wilson too. -5 is a lot though. And then Bills Titans. Titans, I don't know what they've been doing wrong this year. Not looking great. All right, so that was the NFL, at least. One segment done. One segment. Why does that sound? Hello. Hello. Why does it sound so quiet? Looks good, sounds good. Doesn't really sound good. Is it me? Do I sound stuffy? So college, college football. I personally, I feel like most people too, shocked by the Alabama loss. That's the story. That's the headline I wanted to talk about. I could not believe the Aggies, the stupid Aggies, are the ones to do it. They're the ones to knock off Alabama finally. You hear all the stats, so many halftime leads, so many wins in a row. I think there were 19 wins in a row. Blah, blah, blah. Nick Saban has never lost, blah, 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 to an assistant coach, blah, blah, blah. You can just pick a random stat, and it's like Alabama hasn't done it, and it's usually good in X amount of months or years or centuries since Nick Saban was born, and they got magic powers. But yeah, the Aggies, I can't believe it. Stupid Aggies. That's the take. No, but so that was one of those weird games where they were down 14 in the first quarter and still 7-point favorites. It's like, my God, Vegas, come on, let me just bet on an Alabama comeback. And they didn't want to do it, never did it. Then I think they were down 21 at halftime. Or were they 17 at halftime? They were +1 at halftime. And it's Alabama. There's no way Nick Saban is not losing his shit in the locker room. I would have paid season ticket worthy money just to be a fly in that locker room for just that one night. He probably freaked out. I can't even. Oh my God! You see videos of him the first day of practice in the summer, and he's biting people's heads off. I would have paid money to see that locker room at halftime. And they came out and couldn't stop them. They were looking great. I was like, yup, easy $20. Alabama's coming back. Are you serious? Easy money. I was at a country concert. I wasn't even watching the game anymore. I'm checking on my phone. I'm like, yep, just took the lead. Sick. Like fourth quarter, couple minutes left. Alabama did it. Choke. In Kyle Field? What a stupid name for a field. How do you lose? How does Alabama lose at Kyle Field? Oh my God, that was the absolute worst thing I think I've ever seen. And that is why sports gambling is dangerous, boys and girls, because two teams you don't really like, and you're at a country concert checking the score on your phone instead of having fun, worrying about if you won or lost $20 or $100, whatever you put on the game. I don't put 100, but $20 on Alabama's underdogs at halftime. I thought that was easy money. I mean, come on. History says Alabama usually wins football games. That was ridiculous. The fact that they came all the way back was crazy. Anyway, I just can't believe they couldn't finish the deal. Anyway, that's the main story from last week or 2 weeks ago for college foosball. The main one coming up this week, I think, and the line. This is like what was the NFL game that I thought the line was shocking? Oh, Cleveland -3 at home. Same kind of thing here with Texas. Texas, obviously, voters love them. I don't know how Texas is ranked 25 and Baylor's not. Baylor's 5-1. Texas is 4-2. Doesn't make much sense to me there. Oklahoma State, though, 5-0. They're ranked number 12 in the country on the road at Texas. So we have 12 versus 25. 25 should not even be ranked 25 because they've lost twice. And they're 5-point favorites. What? This is just like ranking Texas 15 to start the season. Dude, do we just... I can't. I really don't understand it. I don't get why everybody... It's so stupid. I don't... I've dug into them too much this year already, but you're giving me the 12th team in the country, undefeated, 5-0, 2-0 in the Big 12, and you're giving me a +5 straight up, like already with the spread. You could tease that, make it even more. I'm taking a top 12 team +5 every time. Usually I do like a home underdog, but not when it's Texas. Not when it's A&M. Did lose on the A&M one, though, so maybe I should stick with my gut and do the home underdog thing. But I'm not going to. Horns down. Heard me. Yeah, Oklahoma State +5. Oklahoma State winning that game, getting to 6-0, getting in the top 10. Then we have a future Big 12 battle here. UCF has fallen out of the rankings, but Cincinnati is number 3 in the country. What? Are you kidding me? So I get to lose Texas and not care about them anymore and get the number 3 team in the country? Bet! Where do I sign up? Sign me up. I do not care, baby. Ooh, that's nice. And then another future Big 12 matchup. Like, did we plan this out? Is this Big 12 future weekend? We got number 19 BYU at 5-1, who've looked solid against Baylor 5-1, who I'm still iffy about. I actually don't know if Baylor's that good, but I do think they should be ranked 24 or 25, especially if Texas is. There's a couple 2-loss teams on that poll that should not be there. Take a 1-loss team over a 2-loss team, especially this early in the season. So that should really be 19 versus 24 or 25. It should be a top 25 matchup if you ask me. And Baylor 6.5 point favorites at home, homecoming on ESPN. Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. BYU, first ever big. Technically they're not in the Big 12 yet, but hey, little preview here. That's gonna be a good game. That's gonna be a good game. Those are the 2 big ones I want to talk about. Kentucky is ranked 11 versus Georgia 1. That'll be good. shit. I mean, I don't know if Kentucky's actually 11, but even if they're 10 or 15, Georgia's been just stomping on people. So Georgia, even before Alabama had lost, it was one of those. Georgia looks better, and I want to root for Georgia over Alabama. But now that Alabama lost, it's like, hey, Georgia's in the driver's seat, baby. Let's go. Let's ride it. Georgia's looking really good. Iowa's number 2. I don't know, man. They were taking a beating to Penn State before their quarterback got hurt. So that I think is a little overhyped for me. Oklahoma's probably gonna roll TCU. Yeah, that's about it for the top 25 games. Noteworthy, at least. Yeah. So that's college foosball. So we got our foosball out of the way. Ain't playing no foosball, Bobby Boucher. Am I allowed to quote that movie? Am I gonna get in trouble for watching old 90s comedies that would hurt people's feelings today? I didn't make it. I just laughed at it. All right, so MLB postseason here. We got, I talked about it, my 0-2 start. Yankees and Cardinals both losing in the wild card games, back-to-back days. People give me shit for liking two really successful baseball teams, the two most successful baseball teams, most World Series championships of any other franchises. And my argument to that is it's also double as painful, especially when it's back-to-back days and win-or-go-home days and they both lose. So, along with the highs, there's also the lows. You could also argue that there's I have 2 seasons for every one of yours, so a 10-year drought of World Series championships is really like a 20-year drought because both of my teams are losing every year. So, it's not all what it's cracked up to be. Until the one year when I do finally get a Cardinals-Yankees World Series and I'm freaking out and it'll be fun. But this year, I'm done. I'm done with baseball. It's hockey season. I tweeted that. I'm done with baseball. Hockey started, and I'm all in. I'm all in this year. On hockey, maybe. It depends on the Rangers. They make it hard. And the Knicks make it really hard, too. I've been done with the NBA for quite a while. They don't make it easy. New York does not make it easy. That's also my argument. It's like I can have 2 good baseball teams because all my other sports teams are doo-doo. The Rams have been better now, but for the last 20 years before Sean McVay, they were garbage. So, yeah, there's that. And so, I don't even know if this is a hot take. I mean, is anyone besides, if you're from Boston or Houston, or a fan of Boston or Houston, is anybody watching Red Sox Astros? I mean, I've literally... That could be the only thing on. And I think I'd try to find something else to do. That could not get worse. And the worst part is like one of those teams is going to be in the World Series, so they're going to ruin the World Series too. And the Red Sox, you just love to hate them if you're a Yankees fan. And the Astros, they're just cheaters. I mean, how can you root for a team that cheats? I don't care about the 5 NLCSs in a row. ALCSs in a row. 5? Was it 5 in a row? How do you root for the Astros? You can't. They're garbage. They're literally banging on garbage cans. They're trash. So Red Sox Astros could not be less excited about that. And then Braves get the winner of the Dodgers or the Giants tonight. And Dodgers... I see why people hate the Yankees now because I'm just like sick of the Dodgers winning. So now I get, like, I understand now the mindset of just not liking the good team. It's like, oh, the Dodgers just buy their team and they're really good. So, like, I get the argument against the Yankees now. So I don't despise the... I don't hate the Dodgers. I don't like that they. I don't know. It's touchy. I just wouldn't root for them. I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch them. Giants, I'm like and the Braves, I'm So if it's Braves Giants, I'm like okay. Just whoever wins this, please beat whoever wins out of the Red Sox or the Astros. If it's Dodgers Braves, and if it's gonna be Dodgers Red Sox or Astros, I mean that's just again. If you're not a fan, are you watching? I mean this is like the worst. I could have picked this playoff bracket 17,000 times and I would have never wanted or picked any of this. The Braves, I mean, I guess I'm a Braves fan now until they lose. Because they haven't won in a while. I'm an underdog guy, so you just gotta hope the Braves can beat the Dodgers and the Giants, which is sketchy. Yeah, that's baseball. So let's go over to hockey since it's hockey season and baseball's over. Baseball's over weeks before it was supposed to be. We got opening night was pretty cool and pretty smart of them. They did a doubleheader. Hockey's back on ESPN for the first time in, did I hear 2004 was coming off the top of my head? So 15 years, over 15 years. And so we're back on ESPN. I think that's a good thing. ESPN seems to not ignore, but they don't go out of their way to cover things that they don't cover. Makes sense. I mean, you want to push people to your own channel. I get it. But like the UFC, they never used to show the UFC. Very rarely. Like if Chuck Liddell or Conor McGregor were fighting, sure. But now they shove the UFC down your throat. ESPN Plus and UFC. I think similar things going to happen with the NHL now. Kind of already is. It's like, hey, we got hockey back. Now we're going to have hockey all the time. Like I said, I get it. I mean, it's business. Whatever. Makes money. Should just cover whatever's going on that night. But, whatever. The NHL was smart about opening night. Obviously, you always have the defending, not always, but yeah, I mean, most sports do this. The defending champs open up the next season at home. Tampa Bay Lightning did that. They had the Stanley Cup in-house, which was pretty cool. Fans excited. Packed house. Pittsburgh Penguins, though, scored the first goal of the NHL season, the second goal, and the third goal, and they won 6-2. So Tampa Bay got off to a good start. Don't know if that's a bad omen, a good omen, whatever. Championship hangover. They're back-to-back champs, so hard to bet against them until they lose. And the other cool thing was that they had the two newest teams in the NHL play each other on opening night, which I thought was very smart. Obviously, it was a later game because they're both on the West Coast. The thing I didn't like, though, is that they had Vegas at home. Why wouldn't you have the new team be at home and have like a crazy... I guess maybe now you get a 2-for-1. You get two openers. It's like, hey, here's the Kraken's first game, and hey, here's the first game at home. Maybe that's why. I just thought of that live as I was talking. That must be why. Because if you would have just done it at home tonight, it would have been over. Like, okay, there's the first home game. And then, like, everything, Now they get their first game, and you get a first home game. You have two firsts. If it was done the other way, you only get one first. Two firsts is better than one first. They're smart. They're smart. NHL's smart. So the Seattle Kraken, if you haven't heard, are the newest NHL team. The Vegas Golden Knights were a new team a few years ago, and if you remember, they were really, really good. It was crazy for an expansion team. So the bar, sadly, is like a little high because of Vegas, right? I mean, like people are going to compare them to Vegas, and Vegas beat them and spoiled their NHL debut. So that kind of sucks for the Kraken, but and I'm not a Seattle fan when it comes to football. I've never been to the city, so it's hard to say I just hate the city. The Kraken uniforms are cool. They were pretty cool. I like the colors. I like the logo. Vegas did the cool, on-screen holograms that they all do now with the projector. Like the ice was breaking, the Kraken was coming through it. Cool stuff. I don't know. I like the idea of the Kraken. I think it's a good logo, good mascot, whatever you want to call it. And their colors look cool. It's like a cool seafoam green blue instead of like that nasty neon puke fest that the Seahawks have going on for them that I think is disgusting. The Kraken stuff looks cool. Excited to see what their home uniforms look like. I think I've seen pictures online, but like it was different seeing it like on the ice. It was good. Looked good. It's good. Very good. It's a Brian Regan throwback. If anybody, no, okay. Just clicking away here, chugging along. Boy, I don't even want to talk about this stuff. Not in the mood to dive into this too much. It's also hard to. It's hard to be in the middle of all these things. As you guys know, I mean, I feel like that's where I usually fall. It's weird. I'm not even like purposefully placing myself there. It just happens to be where I fall with these topics. So I don't know. I might as well. I'm here, gonna do it. But save these two topics for last. But probably should have led with them. But like I said, I'd rather talk about sports than nonsense. But we'll go ahead with the nonsense, with the headlines. I've done my due diligence, but I didn't do it preparing for the podcast, so I don't have the direct quotes in front of me. So, for the record, obviously people would only clip if this were to go viral. They're only going to clip the parts that they want to anyway. But if I don't get the direct quotes right, forgive me, but just hear me out here. Because it's weird. Like I said, I don't purposely place myself in the middle. I just happen to fall there. It seems like with every controversy, maybe because they're all stupid and they're all either left or right leaning or whatever words you want to use. But the John Gruden firing, I don't have the full extent to all the emails, nor do I think anybody. So I don't know how bad they get. But the quotes that they have released to us, to me personally, I do not feel that those are fireable offenses, especially when they took place 10 years ago. When 10 years ago, in 2011, calling people these words, not that it's right. I'm not saying that like people you're like promoting. No, I don't think it's good to call anybody names. I'm Mr. Positive. I don't ever want to call anybody names. I don't think you should, but I don't think you should be punished for something 10 years ago that I'm not going to say it was socially acceptable, but it wasn't as frowned upon. They call it the F word now. I'm even afraid to say it on my own podcast. But referring to a gay person, the F word, if you don't follow where I'm going, if you haven't heard, that was thrown around in 2011 like COVID is now. I mean, that was a very, very normal word to call somebody. Not normal. That's not right to say. But it's just a fact. I mean, it was just much more highly used. Like, look it up on Google. Like, how many times it was Googled? Probably it was even more then. Or just used on social media. Not that it's right. You should never call somebody anything, I don't think. I've even, I haven't if I gone on rants about, the golden rule, treat people how you want to be treated. That's not how I want to be treated, so that's how I don't treat other people. So, maybe, Gruden should learn his mistake. He should have got suspended. A lot of things should have happened. And then the other one, I don't know if this is a direct quote, and forgive me, this is an alert here. Earmuffs if you don't like foul language. He in an email called Roger Goodell 10 years ago a clueless anti-football pussy. End quote. That's not nice, but I don't think it's worth losing your job over. And I think a lot of people would agree that Roger Goodell is not, I don't think people are going to bat for him with, Elon Musk for, an award on smartest person on the planet. People boo Goodell every time they see him in public. Nobody tends to like him. A Roger Goodell clown nose T-shirt is like one of the highest selling things on Barstool's website. Barstool essentially, you could argue, built like an empire shitting on Roger Goodell. So I don't know why they're not going to bat for him either right now. Like Dave Portnoy calls Goodell a clueless anti-football pussy every day. Like I think Dave Portnoy literally says that every day. If he doesn't, he should start. Now, I'm trying to be serious and make jokes at the same time. It's hard with stuff like this. Because then there's the other one. The racial one was the first one that came out. He said, I'm sorry, I don't have the direct quote, but I'm even blanking on his name and his position right now. But he said somebody in the NFL organization had Michelin tire lips, I believe was the direct quote. Again, idiot. Don't say that about people. Like, why are you being stupid? Like, I would never say that about somebody. But, again, it was 10 years ago. Should he get punished for it now? Yeah. Fired? Just seems a little steep to me. Getting your name taken down out of the Ring of Honor now? That's a little steep to me. I just think the overreaction is what bothers me. If we would just react to things properly, I would have no problem with anything. I'd be like, okay, yeah, the guy's an idiot, punish him. But to tear down statues and take his name off, he won a Super Bowl, for God's sake. We're going to say that they're not Super Bowl champs now? That's where it starts to bother me. And then I go to the other side, and you look, and you're like, well, dude, like, you're on the other side looking in, and you're like, well, man, like, say you're gay or you're black. You're like, the reason white guys that are in power, like John Gruden, he's been a Monday Night Football host, he's been a head football coach, he has all this kind of power and following, and they're like behind people's backs sending these kinds of emails. Look, he's a dirtbag. And that's the reason, like, this systemic bullshit is in our society in the first place. I'm like, yeah, I kind of get that. You know what? Like, he's Mr. Goody Two-Shoes in front of the camera. Look at me. I'm coaching black football players. I'm so nice. And then behind the back, you're calling people big lip assholes. Like, yeah, maybe you are a dick and you deserve to get fired. I don't know. So, like, that's what I'm talking about here. When I say, I just think the overreaction is the crazy part that needs more light shined upon it. I don't know. Let me know if that made sense to anybody else. Where you fall, where I'm right, where I was wrong. And then just to spin right into another hot take, controversial, just shit show, is all this Kyrie Irving drama is just another one that I kind of said this on the last podcast. I just don't get why we're so far one way or the other here with the vax and the unvaxxed. You're either an uneducated idiot or you're like just a super genius that wants to save everybody's life. I feel like we're all just kind of in the middle. When you boil it down, this is going to sound like an ass, but we're all selfish. We're all doing what's best for us. You either got the vaccine because you were afraid of getting sick, or you got the vaccine because somebody told you to, or you got it because your mom or dad had health issues and you wanted to protect them. You wanted to go see grandma and grandpa at Thanksgiving. You wanted to travel. I mean, yeah, most people got it for selfish reasons. Maybe there's a tiny little percent of you that are just like, I want to protect everyone I know. Yeah, okay, you tell yourself that, but like I would go out on a limb and say it's a small percentage of people. And most of us have done it. I mean, it's like, what was the threshold? 70, 80%. Let's like get to herd immunity. And this was like the last goalpost that they pushed on us, right? Okay, we get there, and now it's like, no, we want everybody to get it. Every single person in the NBA has to have it. That's the part that confuses me. And why are we... And Kyrie's an easy target because of the flat earth stuff in the past. And I think maybe that's why it's getting such attention, because he's like already a controversial figure. And he's the last guy standing on, like, the other guys were like, I'm not going to do it. And then finally they're like, they gave in. And he's like the only one digging his feet in and saying no. And it's just wild to me that I really genuinely am like asking, why do we care if he does or not? If 90% of the NBA already is, and I think it's even over that now, is he literally the only person left? So wouldn't that be like 99.7, 0.8? I don't know. Somebody do the smart math for me. If everyone else is vaccinated, and everyone who hasn't has been fired, like in the front offices and in the cleaning staffs and whatever, what's the danger? If Kyrie's out there playing basketball, if he's one of 20 people on the court or at practice, if everyone else is vaccinated, how the hell is he a danger to anybody but himself? Can't he just sign a waiver that says, I understand if I get sick and die, I chose this way? I really just don't, like, we're at the point where everyone else is, like, 6 months ago or whatever, a year ago, we were at the point where nobody was, so it's like, oh, we gotta, like, protect everybody, right? Everybody's already protected! What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Why does it matter if one person in an entire organization is not? I really, truly don't get it. And I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to dive into the, well, who could pass it, who can't, death percentage, I don't know. But I do have a question. Has anyone, player, athlete, bench, or starting in the NFL, NBA, MLB, or NHL died from this? I know they've gotten sick, and I know they get the best treatment of the most athletic people. I know they've said it's hard. But if all of those people are already vaccinated and your chances now of recovering are so drastically better, why do we care if this very small percentage of these leagues is not? I really wish we could just let this go, because I really don't like talking about it. And I would say this is going to be the last time, but I know it's not. I think I got some of my points across. I really don't get it. I'm just really genuinely confused as a person who tries to play both sides. I really wish just common sense would kick in sometimes, and I know it doesn't. And maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. If telling people that want to get vaxxed too and the other ones don't. Like, if we were still hovering at 50% or 40% or 60%, like, guys, we got to, like, get over that hump, man. We got to get to, like, 70 or 80 so we can all be safe. I'd be like, yeah, all right, make a mandate. Make it till we get to 85%. But, like, when we're at, like, 90, 99 for, like, certain organizations, I mean, there are companies with, like, 95 and they're firing the 5%. That I don't get. That I really don't. I just truly don't understand. If it, it's weird. It's weird. We're in a weird world. A weird world run by humans. And humans are not perfect. Even the ones in charge. It's scary. Scary, scary. So, I'm here to make a fool of myself usually I try to avoid it. We don't have to go through all this nonsense mumbo jumbo, but hopefully, I don't know, hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me, but I just want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be safe. I don't want anybody to die. I don't want everybody to get sick. I want everybody to be happy and play sports and come together, and that's about it, really. I see a comment here to take a shot. I don't have my basketball with me, and I got the national championship hat up on the back hoop there, backboard. I can't speak now. Last thing I want to say: 26 days until college basketball, baby, and then we'll ignore all this. Hopefully, we'll ignore all this nonsense. I gotta get cracking on the Days Dugout top 14. Oh, I can't believe we're almost 25 days away. We're less than a month away. College basketball season. The best All right. We're going to leave on that note, everybody. College basketball coming to you soon. Coming to a podcast near you soon. All right, peeps. Love you all. Hope you all get better, be better. Love one another. Golden rule. Smile and treat somebody nice today. Do something good for somebody. I'm out of here. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, Instagram. Bye. I almost just touched my laptop like it's a touchscreen. Bye, YouTube. End with you. And lastly, guys, if you are still listening,